I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully is disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little girl, them. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. I'm upset. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maize Man. I'm here with my guy,
Maniac,
and down below,
Kinetic.
I'm destroying things over here. Yo, gentlemen, first things first, let's get this out the way. Spring game, whole spring weekend was a win. It was a success, went off without a hitch. Maniac, let's start with you. What was your perspective of the weekend?
I mean, man, first of all, the weekend was amazing, man. Met a lot of great people, a lot of people who support the channel. It was great meeting you face to face, meeting Kinetic face to face, TJ, John, Johnny, because we are, a team. We are a coalition. We the Avengers, and just, to chill with everybody, man, and really see who everyone is in the flesh. It was an amazing thing, man. And if I had to rate my experience, man, from Thursday to Sunday, with the exception of that Uber ride to the airport Sunday morning.
Yo.
Y'all didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, he listening to Mortal Kombat music. It was just crazy. He was a weird guy, but nah, man, it was a A+, man. A+ experience regarding my trip over there, man, meeting, great people. And even, of course, like I mentioned earlier, the people who support. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to leave no one out, man. But, Mike Layton, my man Ron Embry, DK, my man Les, JG King, West Squad. What happened, bro?
I saw West Squad call, and I did. We was in the middle of something, and I did, slide him. That's my bad, West Squad.
Big time West Squad.
What? You know my guy. You're my guy, man.
Oh, shout the Asian Posh, man, Doreen, and even her husband, man. He came. He was all Ohio State decked out, but of course it was respect. He was cool. He was cordial. We was cordial. Just amazing, man. Just an amazing experience, man. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, no doubt. Kinetic, how was your experience?
I mean, I had a blast, man, getting to meet you guys, getting to meet everyone there. I mean, we had so many people, so many viewers of the channels come up to us before the game, after the game, met some new friends, had some fun on the evenings in Ann Arbor. I mean, the game was fun. It was all around a great experience. I know we had different thoughts as far as like the post game show, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way it was set up, and it was fun.
No doubt. Before I respond to this, because I'm responding to this, Mello, you're wilding. But before I do that, we got a special treat for y'all. Here we go. Just a little bit of the highlights from the weekend. By the way, one of the better highlights is we got a mixtape cover photo in front of the house, the Airbnb house. Using that for a mixtape cover that's coming soon. But to this nonsense that Melo has put in the chat here, TSC clears Bryce. Now we know why he ducked the lead 11. Didn't TSC complete like one pass?
Neither. Listen, it's fine. You know, look, go ahead, Kinetic. Get in the kitchen,
I was just
Kinetic.
gonna say, listen. If you go back and look at it's 15 practices, right? That he's been on campus for in a new system, right? If you go back and look at Will Howard's spring game from last year, compare the stats: 15 spring practices and then a spring game in a new system, right? Bryce's numbers are better than Will Howard's. And Will Howard was a how many year starter before that? With how many years of experience? Right. Bryce Underwood's a 17-year-old kid, never having played college football before. Will Howard had his entire first team unit of offensive line and wide receivers. Bryce was playing with none of his first team wide receivers and half of his first team O-line. Hell, he was playing with some of the second and third team O-line because of the way Michigan does their draft. So because there was mixed units there, and anyone that's ever played O-line will tell you that chemistry and knowing how the guy next to you blocks and how he moves is absolute importance on the O-line. When you take guys off of the unit that they're used to playing with and put them with guys that they're not in practice day in, day out playing with, it's different. So to try to say that Bryce had a bad day and compare it to anybody with Ohio State is stupid. Bryce's numbers are fine. Bryce is going to be fine.
Yeah. And it's true. Look. Yeah, you're right, Les. Shout to my man Les Austin, man. That's my guy. He was there. Nice meeting him too, man. Look,
Les, did we not get it flicked? We ain't flick it up, Les?
Yeah, I got him. I got with me and Les. In fact, y'all went. That's when you and Kinetic went towards the gate.
Okay.
Yeah. So look, it's simple. This shit is simple. If Bryce would have cooked, if Bryce would have went 17 for 21, oh, y'all scum fans, y'all bragging over spring game. Oh my God.
They would have said it was because of Connor Stallions.
It was whether he did good, they was gonna critique it because it's just a glorified spring game. He did bad, he's trash, and that's cool. And that's what I love about the OSU fans, because OSU and humble, they got no relation. And every year they get humbled by us and they cry and some excuse. Go ahead. Keep talking, bro. Because by November, Bryce is going to be a machine, a well-oiled machine. So go ahead. Let them talk, bro. Just know Texas is coming to Columbus week 1.
No doubt. Look, let's get into it, though. We haven't done this in a while. It obviously hasn't been any football in a while. But we just got a little taste of some football, so we're bringing it back. Special occasion tonight. The good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to get into it. We'll tell you what we thought was good, what we thought was bad, what was ugly right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Maize Madman, Maniac, and Kinetic proudly present to you the good, the bad, the ugly.
That's some ugly dude.
Shout out to that. Hey, Kinetic, let's start with you, man.
I forgot all about that little segment right there with the that you did in between, man. I can't wait till the season start, man. Oh man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. Kinetic, let's start with you. What you thought was good, bad, and ugly, if anything.
Man. I mean, personally, I don't think there was really anything that was ugly considering the type of game it was. It's hard to say anything was ugly. You can say the O-line play as a unit, but I mean, even the coaches will tell you with the way that they set up the teams, like I was talking about earlier, it's not about the O-line team play. It's about individual matchups and what they do on an individual with their matchups with the defensive line individually, not as a unit. But I mean, that would be the closest to an ugly, but considering the details, I don't really count that. Bad, I mean, I would have liked to see a little bit more accuracy from Jaden Davis. I like Jaden. I think he has improved, but that throwing motion, I don't think it's as big a deal as everyone says it is, but it's just, it looked inconsistent. Some of his throws, it looked like he had improved it and got rid of it, and some of the throws, it was very evident it was still there. And I think you saw that on some of the throws where the DBs were able to sort of read it and get a step on it and tighten up the coverage to make the pass miss. Example, he actually put a pretty accurate pass down the sideline towards the end of the game, and I think it was Shamari Earls was on the coverage, and he was able to, without drawing a pass interference, was able to harass the receiver enough to make the receiver have to slow down and not make it to where the ball was at. Like that kind of stuff, but that goes into my good, which was the secondary. I said it the other day when we was talking about our MVPs of the game. I'm going to say the secondary. They played tight coverage all game long, had a couple interceptions. Shamari Earls, the Metcalf brothers, JoJo Edmond had some good plays, although there was that one where he tried to, it looked like he was trying to take down Justice Haynes, and Justice Haynes said nope. That was funny. But I like the play from the secondary, man. I think that was one of the highlights of the game.
Absolutely,
no doubt. Maniac.
Yeah, man. So let me start with the ugly. So I guess our backup kicker, man. He looked bad out there. Let's just say that was ugly.
We got to protect Darth Zvada at all costs, bro.
Put him in the bubble. We're gonna call him Bubble Boy.
That's what I'm saying. Do not let him do kickoff.
It's fine. That
put
dude
Blake out there to do the kickoffs.
Whoever was that kicker, just let him do kickoffs. Don't let him attempt a field goal ever again. Ever. So that was the ugly, right? Because we know Michigan has the best kicker returning. And if anything happens to him, we in trouble unless they go into the portal to pick a kicker up. So that was my ugly. That was real sweet and to the point. The bad. So it's hard to say bad, but I think similar to you, Kinetic, I think at times the accuracies of both quarterbacks were bad, right? Mm-hmm. And that's good. This is why it's practice, right? You do it to get better. But I did like the fact that they were attacking, they were throwing the ball deep. That was beautiful to see. And you just see it, more repetitions, right? The more reps they get, I think they'll do better. And in fact, Jaden Davis, remember, he connected early with McCulley, right on the left, like in the beginning.
Davis had that really nice pass to McCulley. Where
that was a real good.
Put it up there for him to go get it. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but on a video clip I saw that play, McCulley caught the ball. He had his big ass grin on his face coming down with the ball. It was hilarious.
And then the good, man. I could have gone the defense as a whole, but I gotta go Shamari Earls, man. I know Maize Madman a couple of weeks ago. Yes, absolutely. Maize had mentioned it that he's hearing that dude is balling out, and it showed, man. This guy is the good, and what's scary is he's only gonna get better. And I'm just talking about this year. I'm not talking about years to come. We already know what he's gonna be. I'm just talking about this year alone. Like, this guy has a chance to be an all Big Ten, at least a second team all Big Ten DB. He's that good. And what I liked about him, that, like, yes, Kinetic, they tested him like this was an entry exam. You getting tested, boy.
And they had to have been told to test him because they were going at him.
And what I like about him, gentlemen, is that Shamari Earl showed that he don't mind playing in the mud. Meaning he don't mind getting dirty. I'm going to get in there and put them shoulders down and hold that. And that's what I'm talking about. You to be a Michigan DB, you got to be aggressive, man. So my good, in fact, he was great, man. Shout to Shamari Earls, man. But that secondary, that defense is looking caliente.
Hey, I just want to point out to all the trolls in the chat, Bryce Underwood at 17 years old with half of his offensive line and none of his receivers.
Hey, we got to
let him have their fun.
Yeah,
Let
man.
them have
more
their
points
fun.
up. Hold on. He put more points up on Wink Martindale's defense than Ohio State did.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, look, man, we're not gonna respond to, especially on Mondays, bro. The chat is the chat. It is what it is. We'll let them figure it out. As long as we're not getting personal in there, it is what it is. But
Yes.
good point out. He definitely put up more points than you were able to muster to all the Ohio State fans. That said, let me get into my good, bad, and ugly. Ugly. I'm gonna go with the drops. It was a lot of drops in this game. Bryce had at least 3 passes dropped. And even on the other side, there were some drops, right? Jaden Davis put one on somebody and they couldn't come up with the pass either. So I think the drops were ugly, in my opinion. The bad was the inaccuracy of both quarterbacks. I think both of you kind of brought that up. You would like to have seen both of those guys up over 50% completion at least, and neither one of them was close to that, if we're being honest. But the fact that they were throwing the ball was encouraging. I agree with that, and not just throwing the ball, but throwing the ball downfield. That was encouraging. The good, the defense. Obviously, that's an easy one. I'm gonna be more specific. I like what Shamari Earls was doing too, but I think TJ Metcalf is a star.
And
there was a play. There was a play early in the game where Bryce tried to throw an out, like a 5-yard out, and he broke on that thing so fast, man. It was scary. He was and he's deep in the secondary. He got up there and almost made a play on that. And if he catches that, that's 6. So I like what I saw from TJ. He was flying around in the limited time he was out there. He wasn't out there long. Guys like McCulley
got
weren't out
the
there long.
interception, man. Both
Tevins got an interception. So yeah, I think both the Metcalfs definitely showed up. Shamari Earls showed up, of course. Josiah Edmond is another guy that played well. He took a horrible angle against Justice Haynes, but outside of that, he was all over the place.
Outside of that, he was really good in run support, and his tackling was on point too.
Right.
Yeah.
And his coverage.
He never took the DJ sticky. Turner angle.
Absolutely. He was pretty sticky with his coverage too. So I got to give him some light. But yeah, I think Jair Hill wasn't out there long, but played well during his snaps. The defense, I think, is a no-brainer. And honestly, I think somebody brought it up. If Bryce would have went out there, and I think he threw the ball 27 times. If Bryce would have went out there and went 25 for 27 against this defense, we'd probably be having a different kind of conversation. Yeah. Like, what's happening with the defense, right?
And so, and again, send him out there with the ones. Send him out there with the full complement of receivers and offensive line with his tight ends. What's he going to do then?
Right. We expect it to look different in that situation. And again, this is a practice. It's a glorified practice. We all understand that. We were coming to be entertained. Maybe that first half was a bit of a snooze fest, but certainly if you came to see defense, you were pleased, no doubt about it. So that's my good, bad, and ugly. Go ahead.
What's my man's name? Kuzdal?
Bryson Kuzdal.
Kuzdal was nice, bro.
He was doing his thing.
Him and Jalen Hoffman were both walk-ons that are now scholarship.
Yeah, I mean,
if Notre Dame loses to Northwest, whatever, Illinois Tech or whatever they lost to, don't worry about it.
It was a coaching decision, right?
Yeah, that's a coaching. That's on your Coach Freeman. Can't even beat a MAC school or whatever.
Y'all got like the YMCA at Duluth this year. They gonna come up there. They got y'all around.
They got White Castle A&M on the schedule.
I heard Nico's transferring to there next year.
That'll be great.
Hold on, we did just picked up 2 running backs in 2 days.
Yeah, right? I mean they're mostly depth. I think Hester has a chance to get rotation, but I do want to point out for anyone that was following the Nico thing, apparently they just basically made a trade because Joey Aguilar, the quarterback that had just transferred into UCLA, is now transferring out of UCLA to Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Look, you already know, right? People have to understand. This is why even me, I'm whenever what's the even with OSU spring game, right?
Shout out
Even
to you.
the obvious flaws, I didn't say anything. I was just here like, yo, look, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in fact limits replaces as well. Oh, here. Yo, Ma, call me after the show.
Hey, just to set the record straight real quick, the only thing that was Avengers only was our initial dinner the night that we got there for us all to get together and meet and sort of plan everything out. Everything else
Bro,
for the whole
bro,
weekend
we're not
was
addressing
opened
this
up.
over there.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
what
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Yeah.
If feelings were, I want to point this out, bro. I gotta say this because you know these people, these are people I thought were cool. I still, you know, got love for whatever, right? However, we not here to hold grown men's hands. I want to point this out. This is the last time I'm gonna say it. In any future gathering that we do, any future outing that we have, I want this to be known. You're a grown man. If you're in, especially if you're a grown man with my phone number, use my phone number. Don't be out here chitter chatting in the chats in the streets, talking to other people in the chat, telling them how you feel, bro. You got my number. You can tell me how you feel about me. That's it. I'm not gonna address it any further.
Copy.
um,
Yeah, so we were, based on like I said, it wouldn't matter if Michigan looked excellent because the narrative would have been it's just a spring game. So
look at you, Doug.
leave it, leave it, leave it, leave
No,
it,
no,
leave
no, no,
it.
no, no,
So
no, 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 no.
Look at you emotional.
Again, you got my number. Use it. All right, good.
yeah, let's just so basically what I'm saying is that I know it's spring game. That's why you didn't see me here cooking OSU after because they act like we play two different ways. Michigan does a draft. Ohio State doesn't do that. They play with their first team. So again, we not here. That's on them. They because you got to remember when you haven't beat your rivalry for 4 years, you're looking for any little thing as a victory. So this is it for them. Like yes, Bryce didn't look like an Avenger. He didn't look like a superhero. Oh, y'all in trouble. Scum is in trouble. Okay.
Right.
If we want 8 games, with Davis Roaring and Orgy, come on, man. What you think we're going to do with Bryce? With this schedule, minimum 9 to 10. That's minimum. 11 probably. They'll see, man. Defense is, and like, yes, someone said, I think Buckeye Battle Cry when we were doing our live chat immediately after the spring game. He was like, the best defense he's going to see all year? Yeah. Name me a better defense than Michigan in the Big Ten on paper. And please don't say Ohio State. Yes, you have Caleb Downs. That's it. Don't give me no CJ, whatever his name, CJ Hicks, Styles, because we know he like just to jump for shoelaces. My man Blake Corum did him dirty. So we'll see, man. We're going to see what it is. I just know this. Come week 1 against New Mexico, we'll see what it is. Then we can analyze it in and out. But is there any other player that you guys saw in the spring game or a specific unit that you felt that you was, impressed with or by?
Kinetic guy.
Sorry, cut out a little bit. Impressed by what specifically?
If there was any other unit or player that we haven't mentioned that you was impressed by or
I mean,
with,
we gotta say Jalen Hoffman. We gotta shout him out. Now, to be fair, every year in the spring game, there's some of these depth guys, some of the walk-ons, because they're getting volume, they look better. They have more chances to look good, and they're playing
Correct.
against the other walk-ons and stuff like that. So have that as a qualifier. Hogan Hansen didn't play.
No.
Marlon Klein played a couple snaps and was gone. Jalen Hoffman, I believe, is backup fullback / tight end, and he showed out. Now, that said, yes, he was a walk-on, but the speed that he showed to be a fullback and tight end was crazy. Like, you would have thought he was a Colston Loveland style tight end the way he was running around out there like a wide receiver. So, again, from my understanding, he's a walk-on that is now a scholarship player, and I'm watching to see if they find a way to actually like fit him into the game rotations, because he showed out for real at that game. We already mentioned Kuzdal; he was good, so I'm going to go with Jalen Hoffman.
That's a good one. I'm gonna keep it off the screen though, but that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, I think I was impressed with I think Kuzdal is the easy one. That's cherry picking. I'm not gonna go there. Hoffman also is an easy one to see. So I'm not gonna pick him either. But I think Cole Sullivan pops off this immediately. When I got there, I'm like, yo, Cole Sullivan is a unit, bro. And I think he might be like behind Rolder, which is crazy. But that's somebody I was impressed with, Cole Sullivan for sure.
Yeah. Hey, I want to do a reverse one of this. The PA announcer guy, someone needs to get him on up to speed, because he was calling Justice Hayes. He on the touchdown run by our guy Micah Kapana, he called him Bryson Kuzdal. Like, somebody needs to get him caught up with us, or find someone new, because he was dropping the ball at the game.
No doubt. Before we move on, let's get these super chats out the way. Shout out to Cameron 2K. Keep this behind the scenes. Go blue always. No doubt, Cameron. Go blue. My guy, the Dom Father. 22 likes, 92 people watching. Do we have 70 Buckeye trolls in the house? Hit the like. That's a fact. Listen to the Dom Father. Hit the like button. The end. All right.
Real quick update with the whole Nico thing. His brother, Madden Iamaliava, who at one time was committed to UCLA, then flipped to I think it was Ole Miss. Has now it was an early enrollee. Has now entered the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'm expecting him to join his brother at UCLA now.
Yeah, you know who? I just saw Jay Marion mention something in the chat. He said Dominic Nichols look huge. Yo, he beat Babalola off Baba Bang for that sack. I'm telling you, I've been a Dominic Nichols fan, man, for a long time. This guy, he's gonna cook next year. We're gonna have that 4 players off the edge, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, he showed out. Dom Nichols, I mean, he should have had 2 sacks. Let's be real. Like, I like that guy, Lugard Edekpaye. I like him. I like Edekpaye. That sack that he got, that should have been Dom Nichols' sack.
One of the things too, and I paid attention to this. Obviously, it's a spring game. It's a spring practice. The quarterbacks aren't to be touched and things like that. But you know, when Bryce was like getting pressure, he was hanging in there, trying to, you know, make a play down the field or whatever. And those are situations that during the season, he's probably going to take off with that. You know what I mean? When he's getting that sort of pressure. So you got to keep that in mind too. At least move around the pocket, try to create in a different way. And you know, that was limited in this game because you're trying to be fair to the defense and you don't want to touch the quarterback. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, but he did when he was able to elude the pressure, you could see the athleticism, you know. So I think that's, you know, saying that's a good point, man. That's going to be an interesting thing to see as the season goes on. When he knows when to take off, right? That he's not in that pocket too long and he gets sacked or gets stripped. And it's like, Bryce, just take off if it's not there. So, you know, those are instincts, right? Not everybody has it right away. And I think, you know, I don't know how quick he's gonna catch on to that, but hopefully that's not something he struggles with early in the season. Where it's like, yo, he's holding the ball too long, or he's going through his reads, taking too long to go through his reads.
Right.
So that's that, man. But once he starts running out that pocket, I think people gonna be shocked on how athletic Bryce Underwood is, man. I'm just, again, I'm excited for the season. I'm taking that with a grain of salt, just like any other team. That's why I haven't cooked. You hear me cook no team, because it's just a spring game. Again, week 1, when we play in a real team, then we're gonna see what it is. Everybody's team, unless you like Notre Dame.
Right.
Bro, Bryce is 17 years old. He's had 15 practices in this offense. He was out there with half of his starting team in a glorified practice where they were intentionally not doing anything beyond basic pass concepts and basic routes. Like, to try to infer anything negative from this is just, it's insane, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to Dom. He says M3 outcome our linemen didn't wear those padded covers like OSU did in their spring game. Soft. Yo, look, on one hand, I'm with you, and I want to take a shot at OSU every chance I get. But also, I think it's smart to wear those covers. They should probably wear those covers during the real games, honestly, if I'm being honest. I think they limit the chance of concussion by like 20%. That's significant.
You're talking about the Guardian helmet?
Yeah.
Thing?
I think everybody should wear those, honestly. But whatever.
The NFL's allowing them to wear them in games now.
Yeah, yes. I saw that.
I did.
I think they look funny, but if it's for player safety, I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no reason not to, honestly.
No. And so Ty Haywood, Bowles, Jasper Parker. Who else hasn't touched campus yet?
Jacob Washington, Nate Marshall,
and these are guys who could contribute from the gate. So I'm telling you, man, this is a deep Michigan team. Again, what I would say to my fellow Michigan fans, bro, don't panic, bro. There's no need of panic. Chill. I'm not saying we win in the Natty, but chill. It's not gonna be like last year. I promise you that.
No doubt.
Johnny,
what up?
What's going on, man? My man Johnny back in his casa. He like, I'm good now.
Muchos gracias. But no, I wanted to jump on, because I had a blast. I ain't gonna front. At first I was a little hesitant, like, it's all these different people. We don't really know each other. But when I tell you, from the moment I touched down and saw Maize at the hotel, it was all love. When Boxing Maniac pulled up to the hotel, it was all love from the first moment to the last moment I saw him on this trip. Kinetic also, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to pull up and, give these brothers their flowers, because it was a dope time. And it was, honestly, I'm trying to see when we can link up again. I got back home. I'm like,
anytime you're ready, bro.
I need to come tackle or something.
And listen, I'm gonna be clear to everyone in the chat. My man Johnny is celebrity. If you ain't know, yo,
we went into that one bar and people thought he was Jabril Peppers.
Yo, listen, man. Johnny had dudes following him into the stadium. I'm like,
hey,
damn.
We were walking to the stadium, and I wasn't 2 blocks from our house before I met somebody who literally, first thing he said, I'm a fan of Johnny's show. Do you know where Johnny's at?
And is that the dude you brought to the house?
Yeah.
All right.
He was cool. I ain't gonna front.
I only let him come back because he was cool as hell. But but it was cool. What I really enjoy about it, and this is just a personal thing, but that belt that I carry with me, the reason it took me so long to meet y'all over at the Hellgate thing was because I got stopped probably 5 or 6 times by little kids. One time by a mom running to catch up to me because their little kids wanted to ask if they could hold the belt or take a picture with the belt and stuff like that. that was really cool. But that's what took me so long. But yeah, I met him right along there. And first thing he tells me, he's a fan of Johnny. I told him Johnny's here. He said, "Oh, can I meet him?" First thing. And wasn't nobody asking to meet me, wasn't nobody asking to meet John and TJ. It was all, "Can I meet Johnny? Where's Johnny at?"
I appreciate it, and it was all love, though. You know, I don't feel like a celebrity or any of that stuff, so
no.
It was awkward to me. But it was all love, you know, that people enjoy what not only what I do, but what Maize does, what Boxing Maniac does, what Kinetic does. It was all love because we fans of Michigan and it brings people together. Now, Garrison, I was disappointed that you didn't show up, bro. I ain't gonna, bro. I was slick a little disappointed.
Where was you at, man?
I don't know, hater type of stuff, but bro, I wanted to kick it with you and go get a beer and
Posh made it. Posh made it.
Yep.
No
you
doubt.
know. So look, Johnny, since you here, man, and you know you family, might as well, man, get your takes as well, man. So you know we got the segment, the good, the bad, the ugly, what we normally use during the season after every single game. But being like May said, we had a game, right? What was your good? What was your bad? And what was your ugly for the spring game that just happened this past Saturday?
Good. I mean, we got to go with the defense as a whole. The good was Wink and the defense, you know, so them boys look real good. The Metcalf brothers look like they're going to be studs. Like those dudes, Cole Sullivan, looked good, you know, TJ Guy, Rashawn Benny, like the defense as a whole just looked fast, physical up front, and like they're gonna continue on where they left off last year. And what's the ugly? I gotta say it was the passing game. I gotta say it. You know, now I can take something from it because you know you had the drops and you had some timing that was off a little bit, but from Bryce, at least I can say you could see the touch on some of those passes that guys that we had last year couldn't really make those throws, you know. So I'm still gonna say it's ugly, but you could see like, okay, this dude is talented. They just got to get on the same page,
right?
So
yeah.
Oh,
by the way, before we move forward, I gotta shout out my guy Toast. Shout out to Toast. He said, "I'm saying it now." Natty or bust. Shout out to Toast, man.
I respect it. I respect it, Toast.
Maze, I sent you those other pictures.
Yeah, I got them.
So Johnny, what was your bad?
Who was that kicker? Who was that kicker? He was bad.
Stuart Blake.
Yeah, I hope he in the portal after that.
Yeah, he was bad.
No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespect.
He's literally just the emergency kicker in case something happens to Zavada.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not great. Shout out to Tree Dog and thank you for the $4.99 super chat. He said
Tree Dog,
Johnny is the man, but I was equally happy to meet everyone. Shout out to Tree Dog, who is a tree when you see him.
Yeah,
he a big dude.
Big dude. I saw my guy Low Peoples in here too. Shout out to
Peoples.
Low.
Nice meeting Peoples, man.
Yeah.
Shout to him.
Man, we got a quick commercial to get to, and we'll be right back after this message. That's not the message.
wrong button, Mace. Wrong button.
He's still on vacation mode.
This is a professional podcast, guys. I promise.
Professional. All we do is professional things. I don't know how to do it. All right. So anyway, we do have a commercial though. I'm gonna play the commercial. We just gonna be here to watch it with y'all. That's all.
Yo, this is Dre Fame. I'm rocking with the Maize Madman. Y'all gotta follow him and tune in. If y'all don't, I'm upset.
Shout out to Dre, man. And I know y'all know who Dre is. Shout
out to Dre Fame.
That's dope.
Yes.
And John of the Hellgate. Shout out to all of those guys, man. Met so many people, bro. So many people that I didn't know knew me, which was at first, I gotta be honest, it was kind of scary at first. Like people shouting you from, up the road and stuff like that. But it's all good.
You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it.
I'm not. By the way, I don't consider myself a celebrity. I don't even want to act like that. But we did sign autographs. I signed a hat, my first Maize Madman autograph. That was different. It was dope. Shout out to my guy.
Yeah.
Which everybody signed.
And that hat looked good after we
gotta
signed.
put that. You gotta put that hat in a enclosure now, in a case. You gotta encase that hat. It's gonna be worth something.
You know, one thing that I also noticed about this team, man, that I did like, and I didn't mention because I was just Dallas, it's
Bryce is still better than CJ Carr, though.
You can see that the team, man, they love each other. This team, there's no tension. There's no, we got this $12 million quarterback or whatever. Like, these guys, they love each other. They out there rooting for each other. You can see it. You know, again, culture, right? One of the things that in 21, Hutchinson had mentioned was important to them was culture, building a culture and keeping it for years and years. And that's what's been, you know, that's been the Michigan model, man. Culture, that word, that C word. And I think that this year, this team understands, man, they can do special things this season. And that's why I'm excited, man. I'm absolutely excited. You know, I just hope we can stay healthy. And, you know, because, you know, injuries play a big part, man. And hopefully we don't get no major injuries to major players.
I got a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
The tight end that took it, Hoffman. Yeah, Hoffman. Even without that play, he had about 50, 60 yards or even more than that.
He was impressed. I think that was
the pass was about 30 yards, and then he took it the rest of the way. It was an 84-yard play.
No, he's talking about but he was making plays before that.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Do y'all see him in the mix? Do y'all see him in the mix? Because you know we get spring game champs, and then you never see him. So do you see him?
I think it's going to be hard for him to, if I'm being truthful, I think it's hard for him to crack the lineup. It's a lot of talented dudes, right? You got Hogan, Klein, Priestcorn, and then maybe him, right? I would like, you know, if he gets in there, then that'll be great. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of talented guys at that position specifically.
He was running pretty fast. I ain't gonna lie.
And he could catch. Do you remember the play? I believe it was the drive where the Maize team, the blue team scored their first touchdown. I think it was like a 3rd and 3, and they pressure Bryce, and he just threw it in the middle, and my man Hoffman made a hell of a catch, man. So that dude. Listen, but he's gonna be stuck there. He's gonna be buried in the depth chart. But it's just good to have, man. We got 3 quarterbacks. That's Marlon Klein, that's Priestcorn, and of course that's Hogan Hansen.
Yeah.
So
we got another one. There's another one too.
Eli Owens. Is he even on campus?
He's I don't know if he was an early enrollee or not. Also, Elijah Dotson isn't there yet. But no, besides Eli Owens, there's another one I was trying to think of. But Jalen Hoffman's listed as a fullback and tight end, the same as Max Bredesen and Eli Owens.
Okay. So it's possible.
But like I was saying earlier, he was showing wide receiver speed.
That's what I'm saying.
DBs.
So that could be a mismatch nightmare coming out of the backfield.
To what I was saying earlier, Johnny, you might not have caught it. I was told, and now I haven't been able to get a second confirmation on it, but I was told that Bryson Kuzdal and Jalen Hoffman were both walk-ons that are now scholarship.
Okay.
Again, I haven't been able to confirm it, so take it with a grain of salt, but I was told by somebody that usually has good intel that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely, man. We just look again. We understand that anything Bryce does, negative, bad, is gonna be mad. You know, they're gonna they're gonna pick it apart. And is the worst, and that's cool. But that comes with that. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the rival fans because I'll probably be doing the same thing if it was there. So I don't. But I do understand if we putting trolling aside, Trolling aside, that's why I know I'm not giving my take on Julian saying or any quarterback until the regular season. I have to see it against a real team. Because, right, what's going to happen if Bryce throws 3 touchdowns, go for 260 against New Mexico? Bro, it's New Mexico. What are you bragging about? Let's see him do that against Oklahoma. No. But he's whack. He needed a trick play to throw a touchdown. You know, so they're going to move the goalpost when it comes to him. It doesn't matter. So all we got to worry about is that he gets better every practice. Chimp Lindsley understands that, look, we don't need to open up the whole playbook. Let's just go based on what he's comfortable with. And if y'all had to guess, who's going to be the 3 starting receivers? Because, Channing Goodwin, look, besides the old receivers, Channing Goodwin, I think Marsh and Browder, I think these 3 guys are going to play a significant role this season.
Yeah, I think as I pointed out at the game, it obviously Bryce has chemistry with Channing Goodwin. He looked for him at least 4 or 5 times, right? Like hit him a couple times on dit or comeback. So I think they have some chemistry. We saw the plays before the game, right? That they released from practice. At least 2 of those were the Channing Goodwin from Bryce. So I do think Channing Goodwin's going to have a role in the offense. As far as the 3 starters, though, McCulley is a no-brainer for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fred Moore gets the other spot. And I think, if we're talking about a slot position, it's going to be Samaj.
Hey, I just want to echo Richie Dubs real quick. I want to shout out JG King and also Troy. They know why. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And you remember, I know Juju mentioned it. Shout to Juju too. He was out there.
Juju for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember,
cooked. They was playing Kendrick. He was getting hot, boy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Juju.
Chimp, like he said, Chip Lindsley likes to put the tight end in the slot. Right, he don't really run a lot of 12. We ran a lot of 22 personnel, a lot of 12 personnel, without a doubt. Michigan likes some 2 tight ends in tight. Bredesen, smash mouth. Lindsley's more of a spread kind of offensive coordinator, so it's going to be interesting. But I do like it because teams won't be able to stack that box, man. And we got 2 good ass running backs in Haynes and Marshall. It all depends how quick the O-line develops. Of course, unfortunately, me, who I'm a Evan Link, fan, he's not doing too well, So now the left tackle position is a question mark. And that's the most important, offensive line position, man. And if we can't get that, and then that's a position on the O-line that's struggling during the season, then I wouldn't say it could get ugly, but that shit could cause us some games, man. And I don't want that.
What about I don't know if I saw him. Maybe y'all did. Kendrick Bill.
He's hurt.
He was injured. Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's hurt. Because I'm
real quick. Let me shout out these super chats. Shout out to Blue Wolverine, part of the debit card duo. We appreciate the $9.99 super sticker. Shout out to you for that. My guy JG King, who came to check us out,
yes, sir,
at the house, actually gifted Doreen a Michigan shirt. Shout out to my guy, and he became a YouTube member. I appreciate you, sir. By the way, JG King, back when I was recording in the garage with the Mean Echo, was part of was already subscribed to the channel. So shout out to him, man. One of the OGs along with Dom. He also gifted 5 Maize Madman memberships. So if you got one of those memberships, be sure to thank JG King right here. Shout out to him, man. All right, go ahead.
Oh, but one thing that I like, and this is just me, everybody's got the type of offense that they like, but I grew up with the Michigan old school stuff. I've said this kind of before, but the 3-step drop, 1, 2, 3, let it fly. When you hit that back foot, I don't care if it's a slant, I don't care if it's a go, but be on rhythm and get that timing together. I saw it more than I've seen in a minute, where they were 1, 2, 3, and boom, letting it go. The timing just wasn't there, but we saw it a lot more, and that was a step in the right direction. It's just the timing with, what really bothers me about the spring game, and I hate to keep saying this, is I really want to see the ones in the ones, bro.
Yeah.
I like it's starting to bother me a little bit now.
Yeah.
Because when we had JJ and all them, we knew we had a good team. We was just like, okay, whatever. JJ, he's whatever in the spring game. We know we about to run through everybody for the most part, But now that you want to kind of get even though we know it's just the spring game, you still want to see that cohesive of the first unit, the guys that they've been really practicing with. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, it is what it is. It just it bugs me a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I get that.
I guess they do that just to, add some spice to it. I guess, just some excitement. But you're right though. I would like this is, we ain't gonna get another practice like this. Put your ones out there, man. These are my starters right now. Not saying they're gonna be starting the first game of the season, but this is, as of right now, these are our starters. And you wanted to see that and what kind of chemistry Bryce would have had with them. And then you throw Jaden Davis in there with the ones. Give him some, some series with them. And so we can see who looked the best with the ones, right? This doesn't give you much. Right. So we can only talk about based on what we saw on Saturday. So, yeah, man, I'm not, again, me personally, I'm not worried. Like these dudes, even Jaden Davis throws better than Davis, Warren, Orgy, and Tuttle.
No doubt, man. Tim, this is a good question. And yes, I did. There were plays like my man Johnny was talking about, where he's coming off that third step or that 3-step drop, and he's letting it go. Those are kind of planned. I think like at least one of those to Goodwin was the receiver he was going to throw to. But outside of that, he definitely was making his way, across the field, scanning the field, and that actually might have got him in trouble a couple of times in terms of the pocket collapsing and stuff like that. But yeah, he was doing that.
Do you think Bryce was perhaps trying to do a little too much?
I don't think it was that he was trying to do too much. I think it's what I've mentioned many times on here. He had to get acclimated to the speed of the game. That you could see it the first quarter of the game. It's like he was trying to adjust not only to the speed of the pass rush, but the speed of the coverage. And that was really throwing him off. Right around a few minutes into the second quarter, he started to really kind of adjust and get in line with it a little bit better, and you saw a little bit better accuracy with his throws. But you also got to remember those deep throws that he was throwing, most of them were going to Channing Goodwin, which we see that he has a chemistry with, but those were on routes that probably are not going to be Channing Goodwin routes when he has his full receiver core. Those were those routes that you probably put McCauley on, you probably putting Browder on, not Channing Goodwin. Channing Goodwin, I love him. He's showing out, he's improving, but he's also one of those guys that's like 5'11", right?
No, I think he's like 6'1".
Is he that? I thought he was one of the shorter ones. I'll look it up. But either way, my point is he's not 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
Had that been McCauley on that, like that one that went down the far sideline from where we were sitting, that he probably would have got that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind.
Right.
But yes, he was going through his progressions except for the planned ones, and I think at first he was sort of locking on to an option quickly because he was sort of surprised by the speed of it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But he adjusted relatively quickly to that.
For sure.
I think he was nervous too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody was
he never played in front of there was like 45,000 people there at least, and that's the first time he's played in front of a crowd that size. No
doubt. Keyshawn whooping Link's ass in the spring game was more painful than listening to K-Dot. Hey, bro, you got to get off K-Dot, man. By the way, I wanted to get to this. This is what I wanted to get to. Shout out to Buckeye Battle Cry, who did show up. He said he would. He did. He told us what he would wear, and he wore that. So shout out to Buckeye Battle Cry. who is a Michigan grad, who is a Buckeye fan. It's very, very strange.
Yes.
But shout out to him, man. He's
Shout
a
out
man
to
of his
Buckeye.
word, no doubt.
And he showed
Yeah,
up.
and I think
You know, we told everybody where we were going to be Saturday at Hellgate.
Right.
That's where we were. You know, if you showed up, we were there.
and Dominic Nichols to me is gonna be the first guy off the bench for the DNs, man, when they subbing. Because we know TJ Guy and Derek Moore's the starters. I'm telling you, Dominic Nichols gonna eat this year, man. Y'all gonna see. And I hopefully Nate Marshall could crack that rotation as well, man. I think he's gonna do very well.
That throw Bryce through the Hoffman, Warren would have took a sack in the end zone.
It's possible. Yeah, the
I got
only
heat we're talking about Make-A-Wish Warren. I'm gonna stay off his back.
Yeah.
That's
He
the
was
Buckeye
there
play, man. Give
throwing.
him some respect.
He was there throwing in warm-ups, but obviously he wasn't suited up. Like most of the players, and even the starters who did played a series or two. After that, they were all out. So again, we didn't see much from them. So that's why it's just really hard to really, give a good analysis on all of this because it just wasn't.
It was Juju, Darren. And you should have seen it. His face lit up every time a Drake track came on in the stadium. It was beautiful. Shout out to Juju, man.
In the stands, I'm seeing Juju. I'm seeing my boy LaRon. I'm seeing, all these people from the chats. We all just right there. It was dope, bro. That was a dope experience.
Beautiful thing, man. It was very great. It was dope, man. It was. All right, let's get to a couple more. My guy Tim, let me talk on the show.
Tim said,
Tim, this ain't a call-in show, Tim. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link for you, Tim. It's not a call-in show, though.
Tim was there live.
Yes, sir. We saw Tim.
Tim was taking
right.
Tim was able to get there. Garrison wasn't. Yeah,
that link is a celebrity. Tim and Tim alone.
Tim is a celebrity, man. He was there taking pictures with everybody.
Tim pulled up. He was at Hellgate. I saw Tim. What's up, bro? What's up?
Oh, he had his dunks. Tim had his dunks on. Ooh, my man Tim had the drippy.
Yeah, man. I retired the 101s, by the way. One time we're never gonna wear these again. Next game,
don't put them to the camera. Maize, let them see the back. Let them see the back of them. They don't know they custom made.
Yeah.
Here we go.
See, I'm upset. It says I'm upset. We done with those though.
Limited edition.
Limited. That's it. Those might get raffled off next year.
Yo, that's a good idea. Shout out to Troy who actually brought that up too.
Exclusive.
Do something like that. We might raffle those off. Shout out to Troy.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Juju
uses Tim's link. Juju was good.
Man, maybe Juju's middle name is Tim.
Was good. Juju, you had a good time, man.
What'd you say? Can you hear me?
I said, yeah. You can hear you. You had a good time?
Man, it was a great time seeing y'all, bro. I had a blast, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
No doubt, man. It was good.
Yeah.
What was something you were impressed with? Give us something that you want to see Michigan work on.
I mean, probably the most impressed thing I was with the secondary depth going in. Right. I was not expecting, like, I knew JoJo was talented, JoJo Edmond, and Tevis Metcalf as well. He flashed a little bit, but people forget that JoJo. I mean, he just switched to defense like his last year in high school, and he came in extremely raw. Right. So to see him like shine out there, it was great, man. So the secondary depth is insane. So that was one thing I was impressed with. Thing I was like disappointed with is definitely Evan Link. It got to be Evan Link.
Yeah,
but he was getting his ass kicked by our defensive end, like number 5. Like that shit was depressing, bro. That shit was depressing, bro.
I mean, maybe Evan Link is just trying to show us something. He holding back. I don't know. He's supposed to be better than this, though. That's the point. He's supposed to be better than this.
He's hurting everyone's like mindset, bro. He's hurting. We're depressed, bro.
Nah, that's a fact. Tim, we got Tim back here. Before we do that, though, my guy Les Toast. Hey, anytime, Toast, you want to come on up, man. Let me know. We'll get it. We'll do a special show for you, Toast. You my guy.
Darren, come on now.
What do you say?
Look in the chat.
Who got beat worse? Hey. Shout out to DTB, man.
Bro.
DTB
hey,
in the house.
Tim, what's good?
Check out his channel.
What's good? We're up by 5 points.
Who?
Oh, the Pistons up.
Yeah.
The Pistons up?
Yeah.
You know, TJ happy.
You know what? You know what? You know what? The drops. I still don't like the drops.
Yeah.
It's so all of the passes that Bryce had thrown, and all the drops were actually complete. The completion, he could have been at maybe at 50 accuracy because of the drop passes. It wasn't at 50, but the other guy, he had more incompletion compared to Bryce.
Nah, no doubt. Yeah, Davis didn't have his best start. He started out hot. I gotta get. He started out
me nervous. I was
right?
like, he can take the job.
And then I don't know. He fell off a cliff, man. But you know, we definitely want to see better from.
Yeah,
from
I think I turned Maize. I think I turned towards you, and I'm like, yo, he might outplay Brycey.
Right? Yeah.
I said this better not happen.
Bro, y'all gotta understand. But bro, fucking Jaden Davis had the only 2 experienced wide receivers on the whole team.
Yes, that's true. And he had one good throw to McCulley.
That was nice.
On a free play.
That was that cover 2.
Yeah. Which they played. That's what they played most. All the
man.
Are
we ready to shut down this Peyton O'Leary shit? Like, are we done now?
Hey, nah,
dude, he the MVP of the
free. Are we done now?
No, look.
Hey,
Dude, this is what I say.
He impressed me.
Didn't he catch one on Shamari?
No.
Shamari impressed me.
Shamari Earls was very impressive.
Shamari played well. He only had probably 2 plays that he was grabbing, and he had 1 clear PI on Peyton.
Yes, that shit was super clear.
Those deep balls he can't. Those deep balls he can't locking up his own teammates.
Yeah, nah, he's solid. He's solid for sure.
I'm not. How strong do y'all think? I don't think Jaden Davis' arm too strong.
It's not. The ball hangs up, and the ball hangs in the air too long.
Because he had guys open deep, and they were every time it was underthrown.
Right.
If he's gonna do that, he got to let that thing go earlier, especially with that elongated delivery. That's how he got.
He may need to hit the gym.
Moose said he's heading to the Michigan show. Who is that, Moose? Who does the Michigan show? I don't know. Anyway,
I think our starting wide receivers are fine.
He looking like K. McNamara.
Once he gets that shit, like he's gonna have McCauley more, and I don't know how much we're gonna see people in the slot like Maize or Simpson when he gets on campus because of the tight ends in the slot. But our starting wide receivers are fine. I think we're fine there.
Yeah,
it's everyone beyond that. Channing Goodwin's the first guy off the bench, in my opinion.
Yes, he should be right now. As from what we've seen, I agree. He's the first one off the bench.
He looked like K. McNamara.
He was impressive.
Jaden Davis.
Damn.
I think Browder might get. I think Browder gonna play a big role too.
He called that man K. McNamara.
I think, but he did have that drop in the end zone, man.
I wanted that one.
Yeah,
I wanted that one.
Browder, you talking about Browder?
Yes,
that was a perfect.
JoJo had good coverage. JoJo had good coverage, but
JoJo hit the arm. Yeah, that was good. It was good.
Perfect.
But Browder had both hands on. He got to come down with that,
bro. That fade, the fade route down the sideline, bro.
And he was on the Maize team.
Beautiful ball, bro.
That was a beautiful. It was almost too good. The pass was too good. It hit him on like the sideline shoulder. Like that was
what I'm
amazing.
saying, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Shout out to my guy. I had a chance to review the film with him, like in person. He recorded it and shit. Yeah. And bro, you could tell even Bryce's misses were like outside of probably like 3 or 4 were real good, bro. Like the ball placement was good.
Wait,
the
Juju,
only
you tight
one,
with Connor Stallions?
Huh?
You tight with Connor Stallions?
You said Connor Stallions?
So I can say you got
my guy was on the sidelines.
Yeah, so it was only 2 passes from Bryce that I would say that it was like, man, the Channing good when he had him open for a touchdown, wide open.
The screen,
and then the swing pass to the running back. He threw that shit like 40 feet in the air. I'm like, damn, Bryce, what you doing? That's it. Besides that, you know, even the incompletes. And again, it's repetition, man. It's gonna take, and I've mentioned this. People, this Michigan fans, fellow Michigan fans that think Bryce is gonna go to every game, 21 for 28, 380 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's what they want every game. That's not gonna happen. He's gonna have games where he's gonna struggle. And as fans, you gotta be supportive. That's that. But some fans, they not real. A lot of fans don't live in reality, man. They live in fantasy land.
There's a couple things you gotta take in consideration. One, Chip Lindsey was not calling plays at all. That's for one.
Yeah.
2, like it was vanilla, vanilla as hell. So, I mean, you just gotta take shit with a grain of salt in these situations.
I don't think that they ran a single play that wasn't in the Michigan playbook last year or in Bryce's high school playbook.
There was no play action either.
Right. Again, we talked about that too. I think it was me and Johnny, maybe Maniac, talked about how we wanted to see some play action, man. Like it's been so long since, because we were watching clips of like John Navarre, you know, with play action hit Braylon Edwards and stuff like that, man. Like that is needed in the playbook, and it's been a while since Michigan did
play action.
It's been the state. Yes. From
11 personnel pistol type action, play action. Yeah,
you seen it with Gary Moeller from Gary Moeller. What he said? Bryce Underwood high school film was AI.
My God.
Yo, my man Dallas, yo. Shout to Dallas, man. He's the ranked #1 troll in the nation, bro. Ain't no one trolling better than my man Dallas. It's good though. Northern Illinois, though, man. Hopefully y'all could beat them. You know what I'm saying?
Marshall, Northern Illinois. Remember the year they lost to Marshall, they needed a referee stimulus pack to get out of that fight with Cal. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Go ahead.
Marshall.
But you know, Maize, you know, a lot of people overlook, like, we've had like 15 practices together. Of course, the defense ahead of the offense, bro. Right. Like they're all
That's
back.
every year. That's every year. The defense is always going to come together faster than the offense.
Listen, the defense, let me tell you why the defense is going to be sick this season.
That D line, bro.
When we was at the Chop House, right, eating steak, of course, Wink
steak.
Wink
I'm
came.
glad he said that. You cooking steak. Go ahead.
Oh, they did come on Monday.
Hold on. Wink came, and guess what? Johnny put him to the side, and he said, Wink, make sure this year, all the teams we play get nothing. It's over. As soon as Wink heard that Johnny, you get nothing, it's over. It's over.
Crazy.
Yeah, now shout the Wink, though. Wink was cool,
they were
man.
so soft in this spring game. They had on the Guardian Cat song. We did not.
Yeah, you know that, Tim. You know how we roll. We do push-ups and all that.
So what? What you gonna do? What? Don't no man call me soft. I hate that, all right? Wait, let me slow you down, cause I'm a man. I called you soft. First of all, now I don't like you swelling all up and all. What's all this swell up shit? What's that about? What you taking in all this air for, Claude? What you feeling, huh? What's on your mind, huh? What, you gonna put your chin up? Huh? That means something to me? Cause I said soft? Cause I said soft, so what? I spell it. S-O-F-capital-T. Soft. Huh? How you like that? What you gonna do, Claude?
We're up by 8, boys. The Pistons it's up by 8, boys. The Pistons.
Okay.
What quarter we in?
It's about to be the second, I think.
Oh damn, Tim is early, Tim.
They got plenty of time, Tim.
Yeah.
Man,
With
them
that
boys got to
OS
close the game.
in the
Wait a minute,
words
it's
of
second quarter.
my best friend that was at the game, he calls it two-hand grab ass.
No doubt, man.
Shout out to
Hey,
Monk.
listen. I'm gonna give everybody the floor for your final thoughts. We're gonna start with you, Tim. What's your final thoughts on the game? And tell the people where they can find you, my brother.
Okay, the game was good. They sure did some play action, and they should have let Crippen play a little bit more. And y'all can find me on YouTube. The name of my YouTube channel is called the Thunder Ratman Michigan Football Show, and I got some special news. I am doing a YouTube collab with college football with Sam, and we might be doing it on May the 2nd at 8 p.m. At 8 p.m. We're working on another date, but just in case he ain't available, it's going to be a bit live, and y'all can find me on that day too.
No doubt, man. We appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down, man, but you're welcome anytime. Tim, Thunder Ratman, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to follow the YouTube channel Thunder Ratman. Michigan football at Thunder Ratman. I think I'm messing that up, but you get it. My guy Juju, last word, brother. What you got for us?
It's pretty simple, bro. You go and you find the best left tackle that you can out the portal. If not, look, bro, we better pray Babaloa has the best winter camp that an offensive lineman could ever have, and he's ready by mid-year. And we go in with maybe one loss to Oklahoma. Hopefully not. Hopefully it gets patched up. But that's the only real need that I have. I think we're fine at wide receiver, and Lindsey's going to scheme shit up. But other than that, y'all can find me on Twitter at I'm_Jew6. And hopefully everybody has a good fucking winter camp, bro. We roll into that bitch and we kill shit.
No doubt.
For sure.
Shout out to my guy Jew, Johnny Olden Jr., the superstar himself. Tell the people what you got going on. Give them your last word.
Last word. Had a good time, great time at the spring game. If you didn't show up, man, you missed out. You missed out on a great time with these dudes. All of them, Kinetic, TJ, John. Shout out to John. You know, John is cool. John is slick. You gotta watch him. He be saying funny stuff and he don't say it loud, so you gotta listen. But shout out to John, Kinetic, Maize, all of them. We had a dope time. Man, it was fun. But what I got going, same thing, car lives. I'm gonna probably do a video either today or tomorrow, kind of breaking down what I thought about the spring game. And then we got Saturday, I'll do my live. Sunday, we'll do the live for everybody, the call-in show. You know, anybody can join. Dallas fan or Notre Dame fan, show up. Don't talk about it, be about it. Pull up.
Big facts.
Pull up. You know, so that's what's going on. And like Juju said, we got to have that offensive line, regardless of how much we want to pass. We know we're gonna want to run. You got to have that offensive line ready to pass block, run block. That's the foundation of the offense. You know, right. So we got to get that taken care of.
No doubt. Kinetic, you up next, man. Tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you.
Yeah, so I mean, aside from catching me here every Monday on the Maize Madman channel, you can catch me on every platform, Kinetic 615. I'll be this week. I've actually got a couple other appearances I'll be doing. I'll be on call-in show with TJ on Voice of College Football. Wednesday night, we'll be doing a special draft preview show We'll have my boy Rap from the Vocal Vike channel on with us, and then I'll be returning the favor with him going on his show on Friday night. I'm also going to be recording a segment with the guys from Score North that'll be released on Sunday over on Purple Daily. But yeah, other than that, I just my final thoughts. I had a great time. Everyone of the Avengers is cool as hell. Everybody that came out and caught up with us, came and met up with us, said what's up. Every one of y'all, much love. It was a great weekend. I can't say enough about it. As far as the team, don't freak out. Our spring game has never been about high scoring. It's never been about trying to win the off season. They actually do it in a fun way. They make it somewhat of a real game with the way that they draft teams. I think we're going to be good. If we can get another piece on the offensive line, that's probably our biggest need. But I think we're going to be good. Trust the coaches, man.
Trust the process.
Yeah, man. Listen. But listen, those 4 days were amazing, man. Everyone, like I said, man, I really found, like these guys felt like family, man. Felt like I just met up with family and we had a good time, man. So yeah, this is gonna be the first of many, meetups that we're gonna have. Next is probably games, whatever we can make it. But this will be a yearly tradition. So be ready next season. Stack your bread. Because, the Avengers going to be out there, man. And, of course, I'm not worried, man. You see that. A.K.A. Mr. Fitted, man. Michigan, come on, man. The shit cleaner than the newborn baby out the shower. Stop playing with me. But anyway, my brothers, man. Maize, Johnny, Kinetic, TJ, John, and everybody else that we met, man. Dudes was cool as hell, man. I'm telling you, man. What amazing experience. And that's that, man. Like always, go blue.
You muted, Maize.
All right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go blue. I'll end it like this. Be sure to follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. You guys already know that. I'm gonna echo the sentiments of my brothers, man. Meeting Johnny and Kinetic and Maniac, TJ, John was a pleasure. Everybody was their authentic self, which is why it all worked, because there was nobody faking it to make it. So I feel like if you just be yourself, everything works out. And we did that. And we killed the weekend, man. We definitely won the weekend at the end of the day. Shout out to everybody that we met, everybody that came up to us. Big special shout out to Mike Layton. I gotta say that Mike Layton is the real MVP of the weekend. My guy G was there. My guy E. Shout out to Easy E313. That's my guy. DK all day. You already know how we give it up. I could stand here and name everyone forever. I'm not gonna do that though. But Les, Tree, all of you guys, my guy Low Peoples, great meeting you, and we hope to do it again. We will be doing it again. Until next time, you know the slogan, stay angry, my friends. But before we do that, one more thing for you guys.
Again. Oh, hey, ow, hey. Hit him with that again. Hit him with the spin. The spin. Oh, hey.
I'm dead. I want to.
All right. Anyway, we out of here. I'm upset.